Welcome everyone to episode 13 of Let's Play Advanced Tactics Gold, play by email multiplayer series. We have a few interesting things that happened over the course of my opponent's turn, so the enemy has some interesting movements. What we're going to notice most immediately is that there is some kind of push going on in the south. Now I'll just showcase the history, in a second, but well, obviously that's going to be very important to us for us to look at. One other thing I just want to mention, this is unrelated, but I have fixed, or quote-unquote fixed, some settings on my microphone that I thought were on the whole time, but apparently they weren't. So just in case that there's a staggering difference, let me know. But if it's just like slightly better or almost unnoticeable, then don't worry about it. But I think things should be sound a little nicer now. The quality should be improved. For people listening on headphones, there should be less background fuzz. So that's what my goal was. Anyway, let's get into what actually happened. Okay, so first thing is there was, I guess, there must be a strong enough unit that has moved here. Now, let's see. I think last turn I checked and there was a unit there, I thought. Wasn't there a submachine gun guard there? I thought there was. So anyway, somehow they captured this. Maybe they moved another unit in. I don't know. That's my guess, is that they probably moved another unit there. And then they moved a unit down here, I guess, because that would take both of these in one swoop. And then I guess that unit moved forward here. And then we have another unit who I guess moved from here to here and occupied these two hexes immediately. These units are going to pull back, and his artillery is going to pull all the way back. He's moving forces out of this area and pulling them back. Then he moves these guys out of the high mountains. I'm not exactly sure why. I suspect he's worried about being surrounded on four sides and just being bombarded to death. So anyways, I mean, he's falling back from the hills. And it was brought up by Kirk Almighty last video that it's probably not a good idea to leave these mountains. But he has chosen to do so. And either it's a tactical opportunity for me, or perhaps it's a trap or a lure, or well, we don't really know. That's kind of the exciting thing. It's not an AI we're dealing with. There's no scripted pattern. It could be just purely a mistake. It could be some larger plan that we don't know about. Engineers appear. He does have a road built here that wasn't built last time, at least. I'm almost 100% sure. I'm sure I could check the video, but I'm pretty sure that it wasn't there last time. Then he moves some units around. He bombards me. He starts the bombarding of the front. The typical World War I bombardment all happened. I think I lost a total of 60 units last turn. That's not terrible, but a lot of units are on low on readiness, so he did a pretty effective job just weakening me. Okay, let's see what this was. It looks like an infantryman moved there. And so you just swap some fresh units. Okay, so a machine gun moved away. Okay, that rifleman moved away. This tank moves down, down. Okay, strange. Moves in. So he's moving his units forward, I guess maybe so he can get better bombardment done. And he bombards with this group here and this group here, it looks like. He moves a new infantry in. That's a different one than I think the number is different. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you just moved it somewhere for reconnaissance and moved it back. I don't know. Okay, so now we have some shifting of forces. He looks like he's just fanning out forces. We're going to see here, it's really a lot of units are compact. I'm sure he has a massive stacking penalty. I mean, right now this is where his main headquarters is, but it would be tough for me to attack. Okay, so he has some anti-tanks, which are moving. Some tanks, which are moving. Some more movement. I think that's all the interesting stuff. Okay, so let's just take a look at how the front looks now, because I think it's pretty interesting. So no real change in the north, except for he moved this artillery here. He might be thinking about crossing the river here or something. I don't Or maybe he just wants access for this artillery. From this position, it can access more than it can from here. The counter side to that is that I can also access him more easily. So it's an interesting trade. What else? Let's scroll down. He moved the artillery back from this hex. I guess that makes sense because they're on the front. The artillery still exists here, but he has now an anti-tank unit, which is going to make this, especially because it's in the city, a pretty tough hex to take. The advantage of him using anti-tank is that I can actually get my infantry involved, especially my mortars, who will do pretty well against anti-tank guns. Okay, looks like he moved his artillery back here. That's where he bombarded this unit from. He probably has his other artillery here because they are not here. This is defended by 1 armored unit, and this is defended by 2 armored units. So he has armor, 2 armor, 1 armor in the city, 1 anti-tank in the city, and 1 armor in the forest. That's a really solid line. I don't even know where I can break it from here, which leads me to believe that my attack will probably be on this exposed element. Of course, that's probably where he expected the attack to come from. Now, in the south, this is the interesting thing. I have no idea what he's advancing with here. I've thought a lot about this. I mean, a lot. He can't be advancing with something so significant, though, because he has no road coverage yet. Unless he's getting an engineer here, let's see. I think the most he can get is 3 hexes of road in a turn, which still means that he'd be behind this river, which again means that he won't be able to supply any units east of this stream quite yet. Now, that's not the biggest deal because if he built it up to here, he would probably be able to get across the next 2 hexes on the next turn, and especially because it's all friendly territory for him now. And that would probably allow him to supply up to here. These units, almost all of my units, so I suspect it's the same with him, have 2 full rounds of supply, which means that after this turn, mine, he'll be down to 1. He'll build the road here, and after my next turn, they'll be down to 0, but that's when he will get the road across. That's my projection, like, I've been thinking a lot about it. What my response is going to be is, I don't want to be too extreme about this, because I have no idea how big this push is. It's certainly exciting. When I first saw it, I was I don't know how to say it, I was just really excited. But I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to move one of my guards out, because even if it's a tank unit, he can't possibly get the chasm off on the next turn. So I'm going to shift this infantry back down here, instead of crossing and supporting. Now we have a nice line protecting Kazimov. I'm going to move this jeep here so I can see what this is. It is a guard unit with only 10. That's... I probably should have done that first. I don't know why I didn't do that first, but my idea was I was planning this out, that I could get this line here. Maybe this is not really something I should worry about. The problem is if I go here, I can only move back here, so my jeep unit is likely to be attacked. I mean, he can definitely move 2 forward. So if I move here, I gain scouting information, but I possibly lose my scout. Maybe I don't need this unit anymore, though. Maybe it's just okay if I lose it. This is maybe the noble sacrifice that he's supposed to make, is defend. I want to take a moment just to actually look at the Jeep combat statistics. Yeah, they're just going to be completely wiped out by infantry. They're not meant to be in a fight. I would really hate to lose my scouting unit. I think... I'm not going to worry. I think that this means this attack is not... So, what's my reconnaissance here? Yeah, 59. I should have a very good reconnaissance on it. So, let's just move this Jeep back, and let's assume that this attack is not worth defending. So, I have a really solid line anyway, and I think I'll probably shift my forces down. I was already planning to do this before I saw that. So, let's go ahead and do it anyway. Let's see. I want to move 15 rifle into this guy. Oh wait, no, there's 2. That's what I wanted to do. There's 2 that are... Okay, do something like that. This guy, he can move here. And this machine gun will probably move here. I'll move this machine gun over here to defend. So we have a very solid defense still. At least, I mean, against infantry for sure, but the thing I'm obviously worried about is that he's sneaking some armor through here. Because if his armor gets here next turn, they're into the plains. Or maybe his armor's right here, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe a unit moved here, and then because the front didn't advance anymore, I didn't see him move a unit here. And I'm not sure if my Jeep would... Well, my Jeep should have scouted it, but maybe if it was just a small armor detachment. I mean, the questions are... The limits... The possibilities are limitless, is what I'm trying to say. Probably shouldn't freak out too much. I should have time to react and at least get... So yeah, a comment was about anti-tank. Both my opponent and I are now fielding anti-tank guns. I think it's been 2 or 3 turns now. I think 2 turns for me. Again, just to reemphasize this, the production is not supposed to be where we diversify. Our tactics are supposed to be the deciding factor. So I'm still helping the enemy army with its production. That sounds weird, like General Tortuga isn't, but I'm like advising him because he's not as experienced with the game, especially with production. So we're basically having the same production. I've given him, obviously as the game progresses, I've given him more and more freedom. So, well, he's able to take more and more freedom as he understands things better. So I don't know exactly what his production is at, except for I do know, usually, I mean, he's producing armor, I'm sure, every turn, 4, same as me, but he can choose any ratio of anti-tank guns and artillery. I think mine right now is at 4 and 2. If I just go here, update on our production. Yeah, so I'm going with 2 artillery and 4 anti-tank guns just to get my anti-tank gun increasing. I think the anti-tank gun is going to be very interesting because anti-tank guns obviously are not good for offensives. So it really allows you to sit your anti-tanks in one position, and then you can use your armor more aggressively. That was the point, was to make it more fun so we could use our armor less. Right now our armor is all in the front defending lines, which is not really what they should be doing. That's where anti-tanks would be much better. So it'd be nice if we attacked with armor, but then didn't have to move in with the armor. We could just move in with anti-tank guns, because, well, then our armor doesn't have to defend, which is what... It's not good at doing that anyway, so... Alright, this episode is going to go on forever unless I start making some quick decisions, so I think that's all we want to do in the south. I am also going to pull back this unit so that we can start defending Kazimov if it comes down to that. But, let's see, has this unit... Yeah, this is only going to take 20. Yeah, good. So now I'm going to move all these units in to here. This guard unit, get him down there. Excuse me. So we'll move this unit here. He'll collect the forces that he's missing, which looks like 8 rifles and both those machine guns. And push him down to here. Very good. So we have plenty of forces for an infantry-only push. If it's just infantry, I'm not concerned, basically. So, this is the unit we just got. He'll probably move into this high mountain just to keep that protected. Yeah, we want to do that. Yeah, my supply is only good up to here. If I move in here, I'm not gonna have any more supply. However, I think I'm still going to be doing that just because I want to keep pushing this front. And as soon as we take this hill hex, we will take in this whole mountain chain. Since he's falling back from it, I'd be okay with leaving these guys slightly out of supply for 1 turn, given that the advantage I'll gain next turn is an attack from 3 sides on this mountain, assuming that he doesn't fall back. Because I don't think I'm going to attack that unit this turn. I mean, the attacks that I want to engage here, I can't make up my mind. So that'll probably be the last thing I do, because I don't know what I want to do there exactly. Well, I can cover the stuff that I want to do in the north. Excuse me, I'm going to move this infantryman to this guard. He's going to stay there, and now the rest of these guys are going to move over here. I think I'm going to move 1 guard north is what I decided, or was it 2? I think it's 2, and a machine gun over here as well. And I think this guy is just going to stay here for a turn. I'm thinking about probing north, building a bridge across, and just probing the north side of Barnstad. So that's an idea, just to kind of see if we can sneak in and attack, just if my infantry can make gains in that area. So that's what I was thinking about doing for a while now, but it's such a low priority that if I don't give it all the forces, because you can see that I actually ran out of riflemen replenishing my supply this turn. So I'll have to be a little careful about that. I can't throw too many riflemen to the north, because now they're actually needed. And I'll be fixing my production off camera to make a lot more riflemen next turn. We'll probably cut down on the machine gun a bit. No, machine guns are fine. Maybe we'll cut down on their political points. How's our supply looking? Yeah, we're doing okay on supply, so probably we've reached a good equilibrium. Now, the big thing. What am I going to do over here? I know the bombardments, I think I know the bombardments I want to do. So let's see how we do over here. Well, we didn't get almost any anti-tank stuff going on. But we did pretty good casualties to their the riflemen, which is still really important. Because this is one of the two places where I'm considering attacking, both of these being my two choices, I'm going to follow that up with another attack, another bombardment. Okay, well, that's fine. I killed another 4. That's another 6 more retreated. What I was planning on doing is moving this guy, I think this is 65 for him to move here, so he'll only get like 3 rounds of bombardment. That's just so insignificant. I think I'm going to move him there and then bombard this mountain, though. So it's pretty insignificant bombardment. Yeah, we killed exactly 1 machine gun. Didn't really do anything to their combat stats, but I think I have 1 more artillery here. Is that the one I want to use? I think so. Who can get 4 more? I mean, these guys are just useless. I don't know if I should bombard here, because I really did want to attack this area. That was one of the 2 options. Well, the 3-sided attack, it makes more sense to go for this one, but... Okay, well, I know that I do want to do artillery bombardment like so. So let's just see if I get more lucky over here. Well, pretty good. About another 20 killed here. Their stats are very much lowered. How's the tank doing, though? Still at 100%, as I feared it might be. Yeah, but there are supporting artillery who can help me here as well. Now they have artillery here. I think I'm going to move my artillery from here into here, which means the only 2 hexes they could be counter bombarded from are these 2. Now he actually has his headquarters here, which I think is kind of a mistake. The problem is I was planning, so I have 3 here. Yeah, I was planning on doing bombardment of this guy for more than 2, probably from 3. So let's grab this 131 and let's get him to be the 3rd contributor here. Yeah, I think this is what I want to do. See if we can shake this up at all. Well, we did kill some more, but it doesn't look like we got any help on the tanks. And that's mainly what I wanted, was to damage tanks. I'm still going to move these artillery forward. This is kind of bold, but I think the damage we're going to get done makes it worth it. Let's find out. We're killing a lot of staff. Yeah, and lowering their readiness, and okay, so not as much as I would have hoped. Not much at all, to be honest, but we killed a few staff. I don't know if that's really important. Staff are pretty cheap, and but the main thing I wanted to do was kind of knock this artillery down. We see that we didn't do anything with it. Okay, well, that's fine. It'll put the fear of God in those units. Hopefully it'll get him to force his headquarters to move out. I don't move back, or I guess he'll probably stay on the road. I'm not sure exactly. But okay, and then the final obvious bombardment that we're going to do is with these two units on the forest hex. That was actually much more successful than I thought, considering the penalty we should be facing. Killed about 12, lowered their readiness pretty significantly. Didn't really do anything to the tanks though, it looks like. Yeah. So that's going to make that a very difficult hex to attack into. That's kind of what we've got ourselves down to, is that we'll just have to keep bombarding, and we're facing counter bombardment every turn now. So it's really gotten itself into a World War I trench warfare where we can't make any gains, it seems. That's the tough news. But the good side of this is I should be able to start bombarding Soligen next turn. I just don't know which of these two hexes I should try to take this turn. That's still the argument. They have 4 at 70 here, which means those are possible. It's possible to kill those, but they have 3 at 100, so that seems like a stronger hex. And this one, they're massively, because the experience is 62. These are relatively inexperienced with only experience of 25, so if it was just these by themselves, I would gladly attack this hex, even though I can only get 2 sides. Let me just check and see if everything else is done while I kind of think about this situation in the back of my head. I mean, what would you do? Is it obvious to you? I don't know. Well, we can continue the frivolous bombardment in the north. Not that this matters. We can't attack because they keep bombarding the heck out of us. We'll just keep swapping our forces here, trying to keep the best ones in shape. So let's take these guys out and put in... Let's put both of these guys in there, actually. It's a little bit weird, but they're at really high readiness, so that's a good thing. Okay, and I'm making some anti-tank myself, but I'm a little bit slower. He actually has a fully developed unit. Oh, I have one as well. Where does it make sense to put these guys? Almost certainly it makes sense to put them in the mountain, defending that, but I don't feel threatened from any counterattack. And again, anti-tank guns are very vulnerable to artillery fire themselves and infantry attacks. So maybe I'll wait one more turn for this unit to become fully operational. This is a tough decision. Which one do I go? I feel like you have to go for this one, but I don't really want to take this. I guess that is the avenue that I should take in order to start bombarding Solingen next turn. If I eliminate this force, then I'll be in the clear. But okay, he doesn't have actual armor in here. Remember, this is the unit that I killed last turn. Push back on this 3-sided attack here. Pushed it back here. He did jump a unit in here just to take it, I think, if I remember correctly. That's why we lost it. So what do we do? Because if we move here and attack here, we're not going to have enough. That's going to be it for us. We're going to have to hold this hex as part of our new front line. And maybe that's okay because it puts a lot of pressure here. Okay, yeah, I'm okay with that. That actually does make sense. So, whoops, not N. Not N as in November, M as in Mike. Okay, so you can attack. And you, please... you cannot. But it's only because you're riflemen. I think I want this unit to attack, even if I attack from up here. Oh, these units are so... It's like hardcore. Very good. So 109, this one's slightly better than that at 112. Okay, well, we might, if we're going to do this attack, let's do it the best we can. So, I know that we're going to eliminate a lot of infantry, but I just don't think we're going to get extremely lucky with the tank. But can anybody else attack? This one can. It's not good. Okay, well this is definitely the one we want to attack with here. So we'll move that one in. And now I'm not. That's not a dangerous move anyways, because these blues, they're better off moving into this hex this turn anyway. I think it's time for them to move in to put pressure. Especially because we'll be attacking either here or here, one of these two, which means that it'll relieve these guys from being attacked from 3 sides. So I'll go ahead and move that guy there as well. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I think we're going to move this guy down. I'll do the rest of that movement stuff later, but that means the front line is still kind of all controlled by him. Especially because these guys are all switching over to the white, my Supreme Headquarters. This is now Supreme Headquarters defensive territory. Alright, well, I guess I can't stall any longer, can I? We really have to get this attack done with. I just extremely wish that I was able to get this unit involved. What are we sitting at right now? We're already way overstacked, but that, if we eliminate the infantry, yeah, we're still at 150. 150 is what we'll be able to be at, and we're already over that. Okay, well, in that case, I'm going to do... Okay, I just have to attack with this guy. Okay. I can't get the other guy in there anyway. So, do I have any other units who can bombard? I actually wouldn't mind bombarding with any other unit to get any kind of work done we can. But that might be all of our... Yeah, this is obviously a very weak unit who doesn't have horses to move anyway. So he'll probably just bombard here. Okay, well, let's see what we can do then. Now, this is at 198 out of 150. The one unit I don't want to attack with is this one, but we don't have a choice really. So I'm going to take this guy off. He's the lowest in terms of combat strength. And let's see how this goes. So we're still attacking with 3, 3, 3. And they're all at 100%, the readiness of the tanks. And another 3. So we're attacking, this is 12 to 4. Yeah, the only problem is that they have a lot more infantry than I do. So their tanks are going to be firing at my tanks a lot more often, which is a cause of concern. Let me actually see if I can get infantry involved here. I can. I think I'm going to do that. These guys are in pretty good shape. Let's do that. So I just want them to not be able to attack my infantry, my tanks as much as they're attacking my infantry. Okay, so we do have the attack stack is still over, but now we've added another 30 infantry to the mix, so hopefully that helps. Okay, lost a tank. Oh, come on. Oh, yes, very good. Wow, I can't tell you how nervous I was about that, but it turned out extremely good for us. We killed all 4 of their tanks, and we only took 1 tank casualty, which is fantastic. It happened to be from the unit I feared the most, and that's, I guess, understandable. If anywhere, that's where I kind of expected it to happen. Now, their anti-tank gun here is not going to be a good attacking mechanism, so I don't have to worry too much about that. Since I don't have anybody else in position, I'm going to move in these tanks to support. And do we even occupy this one? I don't think so. The reason why I don't think so is I don't think he'll occupy it, but if he does, it's very silly. If he occupies it, I'm in perfect position for a massive 3-sided attack again. The reason why he would want to attack move there is to attack this hex. However, I will be defending that one strongly, very strongly, with very high quality armored units. Yes, I think in the end we don't actually move in there. So let's get this guy in here, and this guy as well. Just to protect ourselves a little bit, I'm going to move in. I'll probably do this off camera, but actually we need these guard units to start getting to the front anyway. Because now this is their time to shine. I'm going to do this, that'll protect my artillery in there as well. Just in case they decide to be bold and bombard me. I will just counter bombard and or attack next turn. Okay, well, I think that's all I'm going to do for this episode on air, because that was the big move. I'm going to fill in the gaps behind the scenes, but I don't think there's no point for us to do another attack here. Let him hold that one open spot, which means I'll probably end up doing this bombardment here. How much will it get done? Almost nothing. But I had to move in. We knew that I wouldn't get much done because I had to move in. Oh, I want to take these hexes, obviously. So what we'll do is these guys will be in good supply. And I think I'm going to move one here as well, just for fun. Yeah, actually, can this guy, where can he get? Only here. Okay, let's move here. I don't think that they'll be able to attack this unit. It would put them into an open area, so I'm not as worried about that. But I am putting pressure on this Jeep. So it's interesting. I don't know what's going on here. It's pretty... I'm going to have to wait and see. I haven't been using my Jeeps enough in this area. Okay, well, we just made that Jeep probably lose all of its units next turn, because I suppose if it gets bombarded, we'll take casualties there. But that's okay. The Jeep wasn't doing anything anyways. It's scouting information. It gave us decent scouting information. What is going on in this middle area? I mean, we're slowly advancing. When we get to here, it doesn't matter if they hold the better position. We'll just start bombarding Soligen until it's unusable. And that's, for our purposes, the same as capturing it. So he'll have to make some kind of move. It'd just be very interesting to see what that move is. And we're finally starting to get some more anti-tank guns. I'm going to increase my rifleman production so that we can start filling up all these units. We have a whole bunch of units that are essentially just waiting for riflemen, extremely low on riflemen. So I'll make sure to make that happen before our next video. All right, well, this is awesome. So stay tuned for more. I guess I'm going to call this episode to a close. It was kind of haphazard. I was so uncertain about my attacks in the front. In the end, we made it looks like a good decision, but I wasn't sure that it would turn out that way. So I'll go ahead and pad everything up, move all the units around off camera. And until the next episode then, take care, and hopefully this is the final push. So, thanks for watching.